Welcome back to my video series called the NBA Rundown, where I discuss the ins, the outs, the ups and downs in the association. In the 7th episode, I'll discuss 2 former top 3 picks playing on the same team, the Houston Rockets taking off, and is the Western Conference still the better conference? Let's get it! In the 2015 draft, D'Angelo Russell and Jahlil Okafor were looked at as 2 of the 3 top players in the draft. You couldn't imagine both of these players on the same team during their rookie contract. And in less than 2 years, they have both found themselves looking at their situations as second chances. It's put up or shut up for both players. Okafor more than Russell. But you're going to have to wait for the opportunity to see both of them on the court at the same time. Russell is recovering from knee surgery back on November 17th, and his initial timeline for his return was around 7 to 8 weeks, which at this point is about 2 or 3 weeks away. Okafor was acquired from the Sixers in a trade on December 7th. Being benched for a long time with the Sixers hurt his conditioning, and he was out of shape when he was traded to the Nets. Russell was showing signs of an all-star caliber player before his injury, averaging around 21 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. The Nets haven't been playing good lately, and they look like the team many expected before the season. Okafor needs to prove himself way more than D'Angelo does. Okafor is playing for his next contract. He needs to prove to the Nets and other teams that he has improved and can be a starting caliber center in today's game. I'm not sure these two can be a dynamic duo that many expect, but the opportunity is intriguing. It feels like the Western Conference has been a superior conference for a long time. The East has been referred to as the inferior conference, the JV of the NBA. The East probably haven't been a better conference since Jordan's Bulls in the 90s. And going into this season, you had Eastern Conference All-Stars migrate to the West in Jimmy Butler, Carmelo Anthony, Paul Millsap, and Paul George. And only one Western Conference All-Star who went to the East in Gordon Hayward, and he has only played 1 game this year. You would have thought the West were going to be even more stronger than the East this year. But surprisingly, that hasn't been the case. In games between the East and the West, the East have won 8 more games than the West. In the last 8 seasons, the West have easily won that category. I feel at this point, you have 3 legit championship contenders in the West with the Warriors, Spurs, and the Rockets, while you have 2 in the East in the Cavaliers and the Celtics. After that, you can make the case that from top to bottom, the East is better. The decline of teams like the Clippers and the Grizzlies and the underperforming OKC Thunder has made this possible. The Toronto Raptors have adjusted their style of play and have become a better team. The Greek Freak has continued to get better every year and has become an MVP candidate this year, and with the addition of Eric Bledsoe, the Bucks are even more dangerous and can only get better. 3 of the most surprising teams in the league this year are the Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks, and the Indiana Pacers. Detroit has slowed down a little bit after their strong start to the season, but they're still a good team. Victor Oladipo has played out of his mind this year and has revitalized the Indiana Pacers to an up-tempo team, and they are a threat to beat any team in the league on any given night. Kristaps Porzingis has taken another step and has become the focal point of the team and has led them to a strong start. The Washington Wizards have not played up to their potential and expectations yet, but they're still a solid team and should get back to that level during the second half of the season last year by the end of the season. Even the Chicago Bulls have went on a 7-game winning streak. The 8th seed in the West is currently under 500. The 8th seed in the East is 2 games over 500. Maybe the NBA didn't need to change the All-Star format this year. After all the jokes about the imbalance of the NBA, this year, the demise of the Eastern Conference has been greatly exaggerated. On June 22nd this year, the Bulls sent their star Jimmy Butler to Minnesota in a draft day trade that brought them an injured player, a disappointment, and a rookie. That disappointment was Chris Dunn. The former top 5 pick had one of the worst offensive rookie years in a long time. Dunn has started to play like he did in his junior year at Providence, in which scouts looked at him as the best point guard prospect in the 2016 draft. During their 7-game winning streak, Dunn averaged around 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists while shooting 46% from the field. He's been a good pick and roll player. As players go under screens, Dunn has showcased his much improved mid-range jumper. He's always been known for his defense, the one thing he could hang his hat on during his rookie year. Chris Dunn currently ranks 4th in the whole league in steals, averaging 2 per game. With every steal, mid-range jumper, athletic finish to the rim, Dunn is slowly showing Bulls fans, including myself, that he can be a star in this league and that we should reevaluate that trade that happened this past offseason. Chris Dunn still needs to get better and prove he can be more consistent, but his recent play is definitely encouraging. Jabari Parker, Isaiah Thomas, and Zach LaVine are 3 players that should be on their way back soon to the court after a long absence. Parker is working his way back from a second ACL injury in 3 years. The 22-year-old has been practicing with Milwaukee's G League team that has allowed Parker to take part in full court sessions while the Bucks only practice half court at this point of the season. Parker expects to keep practicing with the G League team for the time being and is hoping to be ready for game action with the Bucks in February. Bulls guard Zach LaVine is also coming back from an ACL injury. The franchise have continued to take a big picture approach. Every update pushes LaVine's debut back from December to now January. He's been involved in contact practices, individual workouts, with strength training. When he finally makes his debut, Fred Hoiberg said he probably will play him 12 to 18 minutes initially. After being projected to be one of the worst teams in the league, LaVine's addition could end up bumping the Bulls outside the top 5 in next year's draft. Cavaliers guard Isaiah Thomas is also a player yet to make his debut with his new team. He is recovering from a tear in his right hip, and his comeback date has been all over the place, with different people reporting different things. But the important thing is, his return is imminent. The Cavaliers sent Thomas down to their G League team, and he participated in one full practice. Thomas was even dressed for the game against Chicago Bulls on Thursday. He's already been ruled out of the Christmas Day game, but he should be back before the end of the month. The Houston Rockets have been setting fire to the rest of the league so far this season. Before the Lakers loss, this team had won 14 straight games. They have a margin of victory that leads the NBA with an average of 11 points per game, an offensive rating, and effective field goal percentage that ranks second to the Golden State Warriors. Everybody knows how great the Rockets have been and continue to be on offense, but it's the defense that has been the most surprising part. They went from a defense that ranked 18th last season to 6th best this season. The Rockets might be the best chance to prevent Golden State and Cleveland from meeting for the 4th straight year in the NBA Finals. With players like Chris Paul, PJ Tucker, and Baal Moute added in the offseason, you knew the defense would improve to a certain extent, but you didn't know how much. Chris Paul missed a chunk of the season early on, and the Rockets just plugged Eric Gordon in the starting lineup and moved right along. After countless speculation about how 2 ball-dominant players like Paul and Harden could coexist on the same team, the early success is a positive sign that they have found a way. So far, Harden and Paul have averaged only around 19 minutes per game on the floor together. They are playing great together, but Mike D'Antoni have put those 2 in position where they are each taking turns running the offense while the other sits on the bench. The 2 superstars appear to be having a blast together on the court, and their ability to coexist together has made the Rockets currently the best team in the league. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do it right now for future NBA content.